All right. Good evening, sugar. Woo! I'm feeling inspired this evening, y'all. I'm so thankful and grateful now that I have patience and discipline so that I am a master trader. And as I start every call, I want to start this one with our daily affirmation and give you guys some motivation and inspiration as we start this call. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jacqueline Lopez. I am one of the creators of the Milwaukee Sauce Strategy, and I am your honored educator for this evening. I'd like to welcome you all to the Harmonic Scanner 52 Weeks to Freedom Call, class number 7. All right, guys. As I do on every call, let's get the formalities out of the way. Go through the disclaimers. I'm not here to give you any financial advice as to how to invest your money. I am simply here to give you some game, some insight as to what I've learned through the amazing IML Academy and some additional resources so that I can share this information with you all. Now, this evening, before I actually get started with everything on the agenda, I do want to make mention that I did receive a call this evening from Tiffany, who is the wife of James Wilson. He is on our South team, I believe. And while James was preparing for the event in Atlanta, he had a seizure, y'all. And in the midst of all of that, he had his wife give me a call with him on speakerphone so that he could let me know what was going on, stay abreast so that he would make sure that he wasn't missing anything on tonight's class, right? Talking about he had trades going and he was worried more about the trades, y'all. Now, if that ain't dedication, determination, and commitment, you talk about somebody that's trying to go get it. What? So I'm asking all of you to please keep James and Tiffany in your prayers as he tries to heal himself and get back on his feet, and as Tiffany takes on this job of trying to nurse her husband back to health. So I just wanted to start this call off with that because I assured him that the call would be recorded so he didn't have to worry about anything but his health. All right, y'all. So that's how we started off this call. But I want to start focusing in on what we've already learned. And we're going to go through this stuff kind of quickly because we've already addressed this stuff. So it's not for me to be teaching you this information. This is the opportunity for you to showcase and show me and everyone else what you've learned thus far. So as you all know, this is never going to be a lecture on any of my calls. This is always going to be a conversation. So what you get out of it is going to be determined on what you put into it. So I'm going to ask for a few volunteers to help me and just let me know who can tell me or share with the group how to understand currency strength when we're trying to figure out who's winning the war. If the base is strong, what happens? If the quote is strong, what happens?
If the base is strong, then it's a buy. If the quote is strong, then it's a sell.
And if they're equal or similar in strength?
Then it's consolidating.
All right. All right. So we got that down. Now, does anybody remember what the 4 rules are when we're remembering our currency pairs? There are 4 rules I went over. Does anyone remember?
Don't.
Say it one more time. You broke up.
Relax my views.
Oh,
I
sugar.
said, no, ma'am, I don't. That might be something I need to.
All right, cool. All right, so based on what I understand from what you're saying, I can hear you now. And it sounded like you said you don't know what the 4 rules are.
I was basically saying, yeah, that's it.
All right, no problem. We're going to get it answered then. All right, so how about the appropriate sessions? Does anybody remember which pairs are more active during which sessions? So like right now, during the Sydney session, which pairs are more active now?
The Australian pairs.
Australian
Asian.
and which other?
Asian pairs.
No, not the Asian. The Asian pairs will go active during the Asian session.
NZD.
Oh, yeah.
NZD, correct. Okay, so what Asian pairs is going to be shown in the Asian session since you brought it up?
Japanese.
All right, JPY. All right, so then how about for the London session? Which pairs are we going to notice?
Euro and GBP.
GBP.
CHF.
All right,
CHF.
GBP, I heard.
And the European.
Euro.
The Euro and CHF.
Yeah,
All right, and how about New York?
USD.
and
USD and gold.
Canada, gold is in the currency. All right, now. Okay, guys. All right, now, we also talked about the ATR and the weekly trends. So, I'm going to go through this quickly. If you all remember, this is your cheat sheet when it comes to the currency strength tug of war. If the prices rise, we buy. The prices fall, we sell. If it consolidates, it means that the currencies are the same in strength. And you can use this, you can print it out if you want, you can laminate it, and you can actually put in your pairs and put in the strength so that it makes it easier for you to have a visual of what you're looking for. All right, now, the currency pairs, the 4 rules. I'm gonna go over them again, but I'm only gonna go over them quickly because if you don't have them, you need to go back and review the other videos to make sure that you get them because I'm not gonna go into great detail. Number 1. The euro, EUR, is always, I will say it again, EUR is always the base. It is never the quote. It will always be the first currency in your pair. Number 2, JPY. JPY is always, I'm going to say it again, JPY is always the quote. It will never be the base. It will always be the second currency in your pair. Number 3, GBP is always the base, except GBP is always the base except when it is paired with EUR. And if you notice on the chart, EUR GBP is the color of GBP, so that you can remember that. And number 4, CHF. CHF is always, it is always the quote, except for when it is paired with JPY. And you will see CHF JPY highlighted in blue. Does everybody understand that?
Yes, yes. Yes.
All right, I want to make sure y'all got it, because that's going to come in handy when you're looking at pairs and when you're actually looking and putting them in, so that you're putting them in correctly and you're not confused about how the order of them goes and how the currency strength is going to play a role with knowing which order the pairs go. The trading sessions. NZD AUD, you will see mostly active during the Sydney session. JPY during the Asian session, EUR, CHF, GBP, London session, CAD and USD during the New York session. And I want you guys to start paying attention to the news and how that relates to the pairs and how that relates to the session that the news comes out on. Just start looking for the patterns, guys, so we can make notations of that. Now, this class is all about how are we going to put this thing together. By this point, we have given you enough information and a strategy that we're now, the weeks that are coming up in the future, we'll start to focus on setups and how to use the sauce and how to apply those other techniques and strategies to make an informed, educated decision. So if you haven't set up your sauce, you need to do so. You also need to start practicing what you're looking for. Oh, we got some alerts coming in, perfect timing. All right, let's go check it out. All right, let's see. All right, EUR GBP just had an alert. GBP CAD, GBP JPY. Now question, does everyone on the line have alerts set for their 4 pairs, at least?
Yes.
Yes.
That's 2 yeses out of 47 people.
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
No.
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 Ma'am.
All right.
No, ma'am.
Did everyone notice how, as I was sitting here doing this class, the alerts started going off?
Yes.
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 Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So that means I don't have to sit here and watch my charts all day, do I? All I have to do is wait for my alerts to come in, which is telling me that the 3 and the 10 has crossed on whatever time frame I've set it up on. For example, I clicked on the most recent alert, which is GBP JPY, which brought us to this screen right here. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
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 Yes, I can.
And everyone notices that it brought me up on the 15-minute chart. And all I have to do is take my vertical line and place it on the candle in which it crossed. And start drawing this vertical line straight down. And now I'm waiting for the setup to be completed. Does everyone understand that?
Yes.
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 Does everyone see how simple that is?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
No, we don't understand that.
Okay. So who was that said they don't understand?
Danisha and Bashira.
Okay. So where are you in the process? Tell me, talk to me. How many weeks are you in? Where you at? Come on, sugar, now you gotta talk to me. I told you this ain't no lecture, this is a conversation. Hold on, I'm finna unmute you, girl. Is you gonna unmute yourself? Come on now. Unmute yourself.
Okay.
Okay,
It's a
so
little embarrassing, but we've been in for about what? 3 months?
yes.
Okay, you've been in IML 3 months.
Yes.
Okay, cool. No problem. Have you completed your IML Academy Basics through Technical Analysis?
Yes, but I've only watched it 2 times.
Yes.
Okay, no worries. All right. Now, have you gone through the classes? When did you join the 52 weeks? Let me ask you that.
Well, we just really, this is our first call on the 52 weeks.
Okay. All right. So this is your first call on the 52 weeks. Have you watched the first class or the welcome class at all?
No, ma'am.
All right. Then what group are you guys in? Have you been assigned a study group yet?
Yes.
What group are you in?
South.
South group. Okay. What you're going to need to do, this is where teamwork make the dream work. Reach out to the South team. Tell them, hey, I'm new. I just joined the 52 weeks. I'm trying to get caught up to where we're at. And they'll start to share the first few videos that you need to get watched and caught up on so that you are not lost when you get to the live calls with me on Wednesday, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep going through it, but you just pay attention, make notes of any questions you might have, and when you go back and watch those videos, you might get your questions answered, or I might actually answer them for you as we go along. Is that all right? All right. Okay, so with that being said, now let's see, because we got that alert, I came to that screen. Now everybody understands what that alert is telling us, correct? Okay, let me ask you this. Is this setting up for a buy or a sell?
A buy?
Sell. Sell.
Sell.
A sell.
Who said buy?
Done.
I'm not sure.
Come on
Shira.
now.
Like,
You're gonna be my study. We're
the
gonna
two
get
girls, the two
Come on.
girls that haven't watched the
I
video.
guess I can't really see it on my thing, so I just put it.
All right, hold on, wait. I'm gonna help y'all out. Okay, y'all pay attention. All right, hold on, y'all. Let's zoom in for you.
Oh, I see it now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now,
Because it's going.
because this candle is the candle that we're in right now. Does everyone notice that we have 8 minutes and 45 seconds left in this candle?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So what we're looking for is we're going to be looking for what the next candle is. So we have to wait for this candle to close, and we have to know, is the red actually going to come out on top and win the race, or is the blue going to come out on top? Right now, it's looking like the red is actually winning. Everyone sees that.
Yes.
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 Yes, I do.
Y'all ate them all.
And do you all notice that the RSI is under the 45, which is indicating a potential sell?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And do you notice how the MACD is kissing, but it has not crossed yet?
Yes.
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 See right there? Yes.
So what we're waiting for is we're waiting for the red to be out on the top. So the red to be on the top up here. We need the RSI to remain under the street. And we need the MACD, the red, to come out on top. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Now I see it.
All right, now, if you remember in some of the classes I already taught, We already know that we have to be careful on this 15-minute because we need to look at the higher time frames to determine, is this a pullback or the possible setup for a reversal? Does everyone understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, now, where is that gold line at?
Under the bottom.
Right on the candle, on the top of it.
Right on the top of the candle.
Oh, it's on the top of the candle.
Mhm.
Okay.
So do you
So
see
top of
how
So that's what can.
this candle was on top of the 50 and this candle is now underneath the 50? Does everyone see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we do.
Let me see, I'm not sure. Okay.
And if you remember, when it comes to our rules, when keeping in mind that 50 line, that once it breaks the 50, then we have a better probability of it continuing for a stronger sell. Does everyone understand that?
Yes.
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 All right. Now, let me see. Mute your lines, guys, just so we don't have no extra feedback or distractions. All right, so let's go to the scanner. Oh, before we do that, before we even get to the scanner, guys, before we even get to the scanner, I want to show you guys something when it comes to the ATR, because I noticed it when I was doing the calculations for last week. All right, can everybody see the tracker on my screen?
Yes.
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 Yes, we can.
All right. So I've already taken the liberty of doing it for myself, obviously. And I'll share it in the group so that you guys can compare notes if you want. But keep making a record of it. But if you notice, I noticed this right here. AUD USD up until last week was our low man. Does everyone remember that?
Yes, I remember.
Yes.
But for some reason, AUD USD gave out 148 pips to the downside last week.
Can I interrupt you real quick?
Yep, go ahead.
GJ just fell.
EJ?
GJ.
GJ. All right, let's go look at it. Oh, yeah, it sure did. Look at that.
I put 90 cents and I'm like $2 and $3 and yeah, $3 so far.
Right. So now check this out, team. Marge is more advanced at this strategy. She's been doing it a while. So can you see by me just talking to you and we got an alert and we're showing you how the strategy works that she's already in the blue?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she's on the 15-minute chart. Now, Marge, are you typically running this from cross to cross or do you have a pip goal that you typically shoot for?
Well, I was looking at the floor June 19, which is yesterday, and it is at the floor key level is 136.50. So I'm shooting for 136.56, which is really close.
Okay, so you're down here.
Yesterday,
136.5 what?
Yesterday it hit 136.5.
Yeah, right up in there.
That's up. Now I'm up to $4
already.
Yeah.
And this candle hasn't even closed. We still got 2 minutes left in this candle before the next candle actually forms. And if you notice, this candle has a flat top. Does it or does it not? Is it wicked or is it, nope. Is that flat?
Yes, ma'am. It
It looks
is.
flat.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be 2 or 3 flats. We're just looking for the flat to make it a further confirmation. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so we're watching on this. We got a minute left. What was the other one? GBP CAD. Rain. Let's see. Check that out. GBP CAD on the 15-minute. It's going up.
Yes.
Look at how it consolidated right here, guys.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like it's breaking out of that consolidation. Does everybody see that?
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
it better.
Do you see how the blue is starting to push up to the top?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the RSI is out of the street
Yeah,
or
all those,
breaking
all
out of the
those,
street.
Question.
all those
Yeah.
dojis are reversing.
When you're looking at this right here, and where that cross is, you know how they're kissing for a long time, but we're looking at this candle where it's opening up. Is that the accurate? I'm just trying to make sure that I'm looking at it right, because if we look at the RSI in it being in and out of the street, that would change things.
Right. So if you notice, as it stayed close together right in here, do you notice how the MACD stayed close together too? Oh, look, we got an alert on gold too. I'll go to it in a minute. But look, what we're looking for is the mouth of money. Like David says when he's teaching crypto, right? We want that mouth, the separation to be wide. The wider it is, the longer it's going to take typically for those lines to come back together. Can you understand that?
Yes.
So as long as they're running close together, there's still an indication that they're still consolidating and the market hasn't made its mind up.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
what we're looking for is we need the 3 and the 10 to be wide between them, but we also want that MACD to be wide as well.
Okay. So it's okay to mark that line when it at the somewhat near the opening of it.
I typically will mark it right at the cross. But then
Okay.
if you notice, this cross started back here.
Right.
So I would have lined it up here, and then the next candle came and I noticed that it didn't open. So I move it over.
Right. Right.
And then
Okay.
I noticed the next candle, it didn't open, so I moved it over.
Yeah.
And I just constantly move it over until I start to see that mouth opening.
All right.
Once I got to this candle, now it's a clear sign that it's looking like this thing is going to buy, right?
Right.
And if it buys at least up to, from where it is right now, up to the 50, which is where it's going to have some signs of resistance, that's 31 pips.
I got it.
Hey, Jacqueline, I have a question.
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically you also use the strategy outside of the harmonic scanner, right? So that's why you have all the alerts set up on TradingView and so forth. So you just really use it as a strategy by itself.
You can use it as a strategy by itself. We built it and we developed it. We created it for the harmonic scanner. Because the harmonic scanner, if you notice, can everybody see the harmonic scanner on my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So when you get the scanner, right, it's defaulted like this, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Now, when you're looking at this, right, it tells you your stop loss, your potential 2 entries, your take profits, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't tell you when.
Yeah, I see that.
The when is the missing piece. Because if you notice, let's look at a different chart. Here, I go to Trader's Way. You don't have to, but that's just the one that I use.
Okay.
All right, so here's USD CHF, right? And this is a fresh signal. So this is a good one to look at. All right. When you're looking at this, it tells you what? Is this a buy or a sell?
Buy.
Okay, it's a buy. Why is it a buy?
It's a buy.
Entries going up.
Yeah, the
Take
entries-
profits are up.
Okay, so the entries at the bottom and the take profits are up here, right?
Yeah.
All right, now, you notice the market is always constantly moving. So there will be times where you will see a harmonic pattern drawn on the scanner and it will shift on you because the market hasn't finished doing what it was doing. Has anybody experienced that before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So if you notice, you could put an order right here and an order right here and hope, right? Because that's hoping, wishing, and praying that the market might come to these areas and then enter you into the trade, right?
Yeah.
But how do you know if this thing has finished going down yet before it actually reverses to go up?
Mm.
You don't know, do you?
No.
Right? So what we did is we created a strategy called the Milwaukee Sauce. And if you notice, let's go back to that pair, because I want you to see it with the sauce on it now. Does it make it more clear now
Yeah, it paints a real good picture.
that this thing ain't done selling yet because the red still remains on the top? The RSI is under the street and the MACD red is on the top. Does everyone see that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
the
if you notice, the candles are still running underneath that 50 strong because look, if you zoom out, look where they originally crossed, way up here.
Yep.
Does everybody see that?
Yep.
It's where the candles consolidated together. And then there was a huge breakout. They broke away from the 50. And as long as the candles have been running underneath it, it has been on a downtrend. Does everybody see that?
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
And the red candles seem to get larger as it goes down.
So now, what we're waiting for on this particular pair, I like to zoom in because I need to see this thing right up on it. I need to have a clear picture, right? So what we're waiting for, because I don't want to just put an order here and hope that it hits it. What if this thing keeps dropping and shoots past the stop? Now it's kicked me in and it stops me out and I lose. I don't want to do that. So if I wait, be patient, and have some discipline. Now, this cross might not happen until up here by this entry. The cross might not happen till it gets down here by the stop loss. I don't know where the cross is going to happen. I can't tell you that. Only thing I can tell you is that it is going to cross at some point in time. And when it does, we need to be ready for it. We need to be ready for it so that we can catch them pips.
Miss Jackie, I have a question.
All right.
Even though the 50 is above, right? If the cross does happen where the blue comes out on top, do we put a buy order until it gets up to the 50 line?
Good question, but no. This particular strategy is not for any orders. I don't place orders. I do market execution. So what I'm waiting for is for the cross to happen, that candle to close, and I'm looking for all of my signs to be in line for the sauce to set up. Now, the question that you asked about the 50 line is a great question. When the cross happens, and let's just say hypothetically that it actually happens at this entry line at 0.99076, we could potentially ride this up to the 50, which is at about 37 pips. Okay. Now, the point is, when your candles get to that 50, be prepared that there is going to be or potentially be some resistance, because the 50 is a moving average that the banks use to show strong areas of reversals or support and resistance. So you'll notice when the candles come in contact with the 50 line, they will consolidate until the market decides which direction it's going to go. If it has enough momentum to break through it, or if it's simply going to ricochet off of it. Does everyone understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So your 50 line is really just there as an additional confirmation, because check this out. If I remove the 50, let's hide it. Does it appear that if it crosses and it goes to the upside, that there would be anything to stop it from reaching take profit to?
No, it doesn't.
No.
So, as a beginning trader, would you simply just put in an order at the entry and then have your take profit at take profit to, hoping, wishing, and praying that it gets there without any hiccups?
No, I wouldn't.
So, from personal experience, when I started learning the harmonic scanner, I would just put in orders right there at the entry point. And I would just wait for the market to do what it was going to do. But it didn't always do what I wanted it to do when I wanted it to do it. I'm not saying that it didn't ultimately do the move. I'm just saying that I don't want to run the risk of putting in an order and taking the risk of losing a trade because the market hasn't set up properly for the move to actually do what it's supposed to do. Does everyone understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, miss.
All right, so what we need to be doing for the next
Sorry,
couple
could you
of
repeat
weeks.
that? I'm so sorry. Could you repeat what you just said?
Okay, so what you need to be doing is making sure, okay, wait, backtrack me. What part didn't you get? Where did you get left off at? I need to know where you got left off at so I know what part you're missing.
exception. The last part when you're talking about the confirmation.
Okay, so the 50. The 50 is there to give you that additional confirmation, because if the candles are going to be running underneath it, it's a strong indication of a downtrend. But when the candles get right up on it, it's going to start to consolidate with it. And I'll show you what I mean. All right, let's see. Boom. All right, look, guys. Do you see how when the 50 is underneath the candles, it pushes them to the upside?
Yes.
And that the
Yeah, it's
blue
an
is
uptrend.
predominantly on the top?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you notice that when the candles come in contact with that 50,
Consolidates.
they start to consolidate? And if you notice, when the 50 comes out and the candles are underneath it, it pushes the market to the downside. Do you see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the 50 is really just there to keep you aware that there are levels to this thing, and that if you notice on the harmonic scanner, I like to refer to the harmonic scanner as training wheels, right? It's training wheels for our beginners. It tells you where your levels of support and resistance are, right? And the levels of support and resistance are your stop loss, your entry, and your take profit. And if you notice, we'll go check that alert in a minute. If you notice, just by the activity of the market, look at it. When it got to the entry line here, it consolidated. Then it broke out. Then it broke out past this entry. It came up to take profit one, and then it came back. And then shot back down, right? And then it consolidated, and it worked its way back up. Look, it consolidated again on this entry. So we know this entry is popular. Then look, it dropped back down, it consolidated, ran along the stop loss. Then it shot up. Do y'all see the patterns? And that's what you need to be looking for on all of the pairs. And now by this point, our veterans, those of you that have been in the program since the beginning, you should start having these aha moments where the pieces to the puzzle, like I told you when we first started, are going to start to make more sense as to where they align to make this amazing mural. Because we painting a picture. It's a picture of your life and what you want it to look like. All right. Okay, so let's just see. The one other thing, make sure that when you're looking for setups, when you're looking at your specific pairs, make sure that if you see a signal happening or you see it's being called on the scanner, because that's going to be our first line of defense. That's what we're studying through this entire 50 weeks, 52 weeks. Is how to use the harmonic scanner and how to use these 4 amazing strategies. But we all know that this first 90 days is the Milwaukee sauce, and I've already gotten or given you guys enough information to build the foundation. So when we do start adding on these other strategies, you guys are going to continue to have these aha moments. Because ultimately, guys, it is you that is going to carry on this information and share and teach it to the masses. You will become the next experts. You will become the next leaders. You will also become the next educators. Because guess what, guys? This is just our first 52 weeks. But we already know Trade Nation don't do nothing small. So we already know this thing is going to be bigger and greater than all of us. And so I'm greatly excited to be a part of this journey with all of you. And I'm excited to see where this is all going to take us. All right, guys, I'm trying to keep an idea on the time. I know Oren comes up next. Let me just see where we are with things. Does anybody have any questions up until this point?
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I have 2 questions. The first one being, I've checked on some charts with the stocks, and I've noticed sometimes that it's not always that the market goes to the entry point and then the signal that was given, whether it's buy or sell, goes up in that direction.
You're right. It's not going to always line up pretty, guys. It's just not.
Like it will make a wick down or up to the entry point, and then it will close above or under the entry point, and then make that move, whether it's a sell or a buy, to a TP.
Yep. Let me see if I can find an example of one that's already happened. All right, so, look at this one, guys. I'm gonna give you an example of this. Let me see if I can stretch it out. Let's stretch it out some, so make it a little bit more clearer. All right. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to widen this thing up so we can all see it together. All right, so look. Oops, wait. I'll make it better like this. Look at this one, right? All right, so this particular pair is USD CAD on the 1 hour, right? If you notice, the scanner called it for a buy. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Now, without using the strategy, right? And let's just say none of this stuff happened yet. If you would have put your order in right here or right here, no activity, right? And depending on when you put it in, because if you put it in when this D was still forming, this candle on the D hadn't closed, you potentially got kicked into the trade and it dropped. And it continued to drop. And it has not reached that entry yet. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, if I start putting the sauce on it, I already knew right here at this D that this thing was still selling. Do y'all see that?
Yes.
Yes.
I wouldn't have even started considering this trade until the cross happened right here. Does everyone see that?
Yes.
Yes.
So here, let's just put it on.
Can you show everyone how long that was in consolidation for?
Yep, I'll show you that too. From here to there, Mark?
Right. Because I'm guilty. I used to be like, oh, I'm just going to jump in, and then I'd be in consolidation.
For a long time. You be praying, girl. Hoping, wishing, and praying. Please don't go the other way. Nah, you don't want to do that. That's why I said you got to pay attention, patience and discipline, y'all. Patience and discipline. All right, so look, it consolidated from here, which was what? June 19th, right? What's that, 5 o'clock? To June 19th at 1400. What's that, 2? So what, 5? How many hours is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. It was in consolidation for 9 hours before it broke out again to the downside. Does everyone see that?
Yes.
And look how it dropped.
Yes.
Does everyone see the sauce for the sale setup on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Even without the scanner, do you see how you can catch pips on this strategy on the scanner, even when the scanner isn't ready to give you its setup yet?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, now, for those of you who would have caught that trade, let's just see, because I'm anxious to see. Let's see, boom. To where we are right now. All right. Let's just check this out. From this cross right here, right? Down to where the current market is right now. Can anybody tell me how many pips that is?
121 pips.
121 pips.
Yes.
So if you would have gotten an alert, like I've been getting alerts all night, telling you that UCAD had just crossed and it was setting up for the sale, if you would have got in and remained patient and watched the sauce, watch, because I'm going to show you how powerful this is. Look, when the cross happened, was the RSI out of the street?
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Yes.
All right, now, was the red on top
Yes,
of the
it
MACD?
was.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But do you notice that the MACD was running real tight together from about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 hours? Do y'all see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you noticed, a beginner would have waited until all of the signs had come together right here. Because now this is a clear sale, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
But as you start to develop as a trader, because an advanced trader might have got in on this candle because this was lined up, it was out of the street, and the red was on the top. And as long as the red remained on the top, an advanced trader would have known that the momentum for that red, or the probability of that red remaining on the top, was strong because it was still dropping. Does everybody understand that?
I understand.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, this is good
Learn.
stuff. This is good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wanted to use this class so that we could have the aha moment. We should be at the epiphany, where all of the stuff that I've taught you up until this class, we should be at a point where now we can start putting this stuff together. And if you're watching your ATR and knowing how many pips each pair is producing or typically giving out and what direction the weekly trend is going, then you'll know typically how many pips and in what direction you should be focused on for any individual pair. Does everyone understand that?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Jacqueline.
Yes, ma'am.
Jackie. Hi, this is Luana. I have two questions. One, is it possible, do you have a recording for class number 4?
Yes.
I saw you posted in number 3 and you didn't have number 2. Do you have number 4? And also, is it unavailable? Those are the two things I'm missing to be able to catch it.
So number 4 is going to be released this weekend because we're trying to give them to basically a few days to a week apart so that so all of the newcomers don't get lost in the sauce. We want you to actually be able to take in all of the information before we give you a new topic to try and dive into. Now, as far as this class, it usually takes me about a day to go back through the recordings because obviously we're using Chad's link and he gets a lot of recordings through his link. So I have to go searching for it. But then once I do, I upload it and it usually takes me about a day. So you guys should have tonight's class and any screenshots that I might share will be added with that particular video. But if you guys have screenshots from tonight's class, share them with everybody so that we have them because we're obviously going to be doing this thing together. All right, so these are your next steps, guys. I want you to continue trying to calculate the ATR for all of the currency pairs for the current week. So we know you got to wait until Friday when the market closes and do it sometime this weekend before the market opens so that you're ready for what's to come for next week. Also, I want you guys to be studying your assigned pairs and your study groups. We've gone over the Milwaukee sauce and some setups and what you should be looking for together tonight on this call. So, our vets, if you got the sauce, if you're familiar with how to use it, start helping in those study groups so that we can make sure that anyone that joins us is brought up to speed. Continue following with the trading plan. We're going to be issuing out the next 31 trades. So anybody that has reached their 500 goal or $1,000 goal, I'll be sending out that trading plan probably in next week's class so that we can go over that so that we know for next month will be what we're looking to accomplish. Start looking for setups, guys. If you see them, if you got alerts, whatever your pairs are in your study groups, at minimum, set up an alert on those so that when you get an alert, just like I've been getting them all night, you can share them in your study groups. And then you as a team can look at those pairs together and say, hey, there's something setting up with the sauce. We need to be looking at this because, guys, ultimately our goal is to have signals coming out of each of the study groups from the pairs that you're studying. You will become the master of those pairs. So make sure that you stay plugged into the study groups. Make sure that you stay plugged into the Harmonic Scanner Telegram group so that you can get any announcements or any confirmed signals so that you can complete your trading plan. It's 8:01, guys. So I'm going to wrap this call up. I thank you for joining, and I hope to see you all next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.